reason that Americans feel so bad about Biden is because the economy is horrible. And I think that that's really the case. I mean, if you look at the jobs numbers, the debt numbers are off the charts. Consumers are drowning in debt. In addition to all the debt that they're obligated to pay that's been accumulated in their name by the government. And, I think that after the election.
Hey everyone, if you're feeling a bit nervous about the future and wondering if things are going to be okay, you're not alone. But fear not, because we've got the man with all the answers back with us today, Peter Schiff, the Money Maestro. So, kick back, relax, and get ready for a journey through the world of money magic. We're going to unravel the mysteries of what's coming up in 2024. By the end of this, you'll be a pro at understanding where the economy is headed. Trust me, it's going to be eye-opening, so keep watching till the end.
Well, if you think about the word monetize, you're turning debt into money. And so how does a central bank do that? Well, it goes into the market and it buys government debt, and it has to go into the market because the Fed is not allowed to buy the debt directly from the Treasury. So it goes into the secondary market and it, operates through these big banks, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. They act as the broker. So they actually earn a commission on all these debt sales, right? That's pretty good money if you could get it, right? Yeah. But the Fed goes into the market and buys these bonds. And now where does it get the money to buy the bonds? Well, it creates it out of thin air, right? It just, credits it to a bank account. And so it takes this debt and turns it into money because now there's money in the economy that wasn't there. And now the Fed takes that bond and sticks it on its balance sheet. So now its books balance because the currency, the money that it created, is counted as a liability, but the bond that it bought is counted as an asset. And so at some point, right, if the government needs to withdraw that money from circulation because it needs to fight inflation, it would then take that bond, sell it, and withdraw the liquidity, withdraw the money, and then destroy it. And so then the money would go away, and the bond would return to circulation instead. But, and they're doing that somewhat now with quantitative tightening, right? The Federal Reserve is trying to shrink its balance sheet and withdraw some money from circulation, but it's going to stop doing that, and it's going to reverse the process, I think, this year. Yeah. No, I don't think there will be a soft landing at all. And, of course, there's going to be a recession. There's always a recession. The question is, how soon does it start? My money is that it's already started. I mean, I think we are in a recession. I think that is the main reason that Biden's popularity is so low. In fact, he scores lowest on the economy. And so if the economy were so good, the voters would be giving him credit for that instead of blaming him for how lousy everything is because, they can't afford food, they can't afford rent, and they're working 3 jobs. I'm not excusing Trump. I'm just trying to put myself into the position of the voter. He's just going to blame whoever's in charge at the time, right? And so that happens to be Biden. But I'm saying that the reason that Americans feel so bad about Biden is because the economy is horrible. And I think that that's really the case. I mean, if you look at the jobs numbers, forget about the establishment survey, look at these household surveys that show huge job losses month after month after month. Look at the fact that all of the net new jobs that have been created under Biden, other than the restoration of the COVID jobs that were temporarily on hold, but all the really new jobs on net are all part-time. We haven't really created any full-time jobs. We've destroyed full-time jobs and replaced them with 2 or 3 lower-paying part-time jobs. And the debt numbers are off the charts. Consumers are drowning in debt. In addition to all the debt that they're obligated to pay that's been accumulated in their name by the government. And, I think that after the election, they're going to come back and they're going to revise a lot of this economic data. And they're going to come say, hey, we've been in a recession since, Q1 of 2024 or Q3 of 2023. I mean, I think we've been there. Just, if you remember the Great Recession of 2007, 8, 9, I mean, that recession started in December of '07, but they didn't call the recession until December of '08. And what they did in December of '08 is they came out and said all the economic data that we've released over the last year has been wrong. Here's the new data. And instead of this growing economy that we were reporting, we were actually in a recession the entire time. Remember, the reason that investors are so happy is the reason that everybody else is so miserable. It's the same thing. It's inflation. Inflation is causing stock prices to go up, but it's also causing food prices to go up. So if you don't own stocks, but you have to do grocery shopping every week, you're a big loser from inflation. You've just got a bunch of assets, then you're a winner, right? It's because there are winners and losers in inflation. It's a transfer of wealth and purchasing power. So the people who are losing are the ones who are the most upset. The lower class and the middle class, they just don't know who to blame. I mean, now they're blaming Biden, and the government likes to blame inflation on Putin or on greedy corporations. They never accept responsibility. I just said, we have a 50% increase in government spending. Where's that money coming from? It's causing the inflation. All that spending is bidding up prices. And the money that was printed that the government spent, right? There is no free lunch. We're paying for all this government every time we go to the grocery store. Every time you go to the gas station, every time you buy anything, you're paying for these Biden deficits. And yes, we're also paying for the Trump deficits, right? And the Obama deficits and the Bush deficits, right? This has been going on regardless of who's in power. The big buyers of U.S. debt, were foreign central banks, the Fed, and government trust funds. Social Security, Medicare, we're buying treasuries. All three are now selling. Central banks are net sellers. The Fed is a seller, and Social Security trust fund are sellers. The Social Security is right now collecting less in taxes than it pays in benefits. Everybody that used to buy treasuries is now selling. No way to finance this unless the Federal Reserve, comes back to the table, which is what they're doing. Just laid the foundation for that by saying they're going to slow down quantitative tightening. Yeah, well, the next thing is to reinstitute quantitative easing. And so inflation is going to go up. And you look at these charts of commodity prices, to me, they look explosive. I think you're going to see across the board, big bull market in agriculture, industrial metals, in energy. All these prices are about to, party, and roar like the 1970s. And there's no way that's consistent with 2% inflation.
Let's pause and acknowledge the wisdom shared by our guest, Peter Schiff. If you found yourself nodding along, intrigued by what you've learned today, give that like button a high five. Let's show some love for those mind-expanding insights. Now, if you're thinking, wow, I need more of this in my life, then hit that subscribe button like your curiosity depends on it. Trust me, we're diving deeper, exploring further, and unlocking secrets you never knew existed. So keep your eyes peeled for our next adventure. Thank you.